Shalom, welcome to Tactically Torah. I am Heath Hayes. I wanted to talk to you guys about what it is that Yeshua really did. And really, not even that what he really did, because that'll be a different video. I want to talk to you about if you are an individual who is on the edge of keeping Torah. It interests you, it piques your interest, but you're really just not sure. I'm going to talk to you about that. Why is it important? Why should we do it anyway? And really, what does it even look like? That's probably the most important aspect to get, is what does it truly look like? And I would venture, I would submit to you that it should not look, if you are truly seeking the Most High, if you are one who is genuinely after the business of the Father, if you are one who is all about the fellowship of the believers, your brethren around you, you want to go to church and raise your hands and worship and do all of those things because it's all important. It's all important. These are all things that we should be doing. If you're one of those people, but you're on the edge, you don't want to lose any of that. As a matter of fact, you should hold on to and cling to every bit of that. The only difference is there's a slight tweaking in the doctrine. And see, here's the thing. Doctrine is about teachings of man. We're not really about doctrine. All we want to do is hold on to the truth of the Word of the Most High. Okay? So, what we're doing is, like I said, you hold on to every bit of that. You hold on to that fellowship and that worship and that fervent prayer and your fasting and all of that. Hold on to all of that because it's very important. But we throw doctrine out the window. I don't care what anybody's ever taught me, or including my granny or my papa, or so-and-so was a pastor, and I'm not calling anybody a liar. Let me tell you that right now. I'm not. But I'm throwing everything that anybody, I don't care who it is, has ever told me, taught me, any preconceived notion that I've ever thought, anything that I've even grew up believing, maybe I took it out of context. I don't care. Everything out the window. The only thing I'm holding on to is that Jesus, Yeshua, the Son of the Most High Living God, is in fact that. That very belief is the very means by which we obtain salvation. Okay, so if that is the case, that is the one thing that we need to hold on to, because that's the most important factor. How to achieve relationship with the Most High. Okay? So with that, again, we're holding on to worship and fellowship and all of the good things from church. And then we're going to forget about everything we've ever been told, everything we've ever thought, anything we've been taught, whatever. None of that matters. Okay? Now we dive into Scripture. And we see from Genesis to Revelation. Read it all. Yeah, read it all. It's a lot. Now that you've forgotten about everything that anybody's ever told you, you've thought, read, so on and so forth, none of that matters. Now you're reading the Word. I want you, every time that you read the Word, ask the Most High. I want to know your truth. I don't care about doctrines of man. I don't care about anything that I've been taught, thought, or read, or anything. I don't care about any of that. I want to know your truth, Father. I want to know your truth, Abba. Send your Spirit to help me understand your Word. And it's not that I have any greater understanding than you, because I don't. We're reading the same Word. But this is the difference. And I'm telling you what I did, okay? This is what my wife and I did, as a matter of fact. And it worked. And the Father revolutionized our relationship with Him. Now, there is an importance to holding on to all of that, because most people, when they go down the path that that Torah believers go down, is they dive in head first into Torah and then forget about everything else that was good in the church and so on and so forth. Okay, we want to hold on to that because it's essential. It's essential. I'll say it again: the worship, the prayer, the edification of the saints. You know, the body of believers coming together, reading and teaching and singing and praising and worship and fasting and doing all of those things is essential to your life and your walk with the Most High. Okay? We want to hold on to that. And then take a look at what the Word is saying as you read it and obey it. So as the scriptures say, okay, something simple, something very straightforward. It's not something that you can obey in the spirit, okay? It is something very straightforward. If the Most High says His holy day, the Sabbath, you know, the fourth commandment out of the 10 commandments, He says, remember my Sabbath and keep it holy. And then you see in Leviticus, He talks about His Sabbath being on the 7th day of the week. Okay, so if that's the 7th day of the week, what day is the 7th day of the week? Saturday. Okay, so we're going to keep the Sabbath holy, not on Sunday, the 7th day of the week. Okay, that's something very practical, very easy to do. People, now when you start doing this, you know, people are going to lose their minds and say that, you know, you've lost it and you're going to lose salvation, and you name it, I've heard it all. But none of that matters, because we don't care about what they think. We don't care about opinions of man or doctrine of man. We care about the ways of the Most High Yah. The Most High. That's all that matters. Okay? So from there, we implement. We read. We orient ourselves to it. And then we implement that into our lives. That's called obedience. Obedience. It's impossible to have obedience without action. Okay, so if you read and you perceive that this is what the Father is asking you to do, there must be action behind it. So we read that the Sabbath is on Saturday, not Sunday. Okay, so therefore I'm going to make my Sabbath Saturday and not Sunday. That's something very practical. Okay, another practical implementation that we can practice is the dietary laws. Something very easy. They're very straightforward. All you got to do is read. He says, don't eat this. You can eat this. Okay. So if it's got a cloven hoof and it chews the cud, all right. We're done. We can eat it. Not a big deal. I'm sorry. If it does not have a cloven hoof. So yeah, just read the Word for yourself. As you read, implement what you read and do it. Implement it in your life. That's practical wisdom. Practical wisdom is practical application of the knowledge that you gain through reading the Scripture. As you apply it, you learn, and you're wiser for it. Because now you have the knowledge and discernment to know the difference between what is right, or rather not what is right and wrong, but rather what is correct and incorrect, is probably the best way to put it. Okay? I'm not trying to tell you you're right and so-and-so's wrong, or I'm right and you're wrong. None of that matters. To throw right and wrong out the window, we're about what is correct and incorrect per the letter of the Word of the Most High. It's all that matters. So, again, I'm going to go ahead and put a bow on it, but I'm going to wrap it all up. We're holding on to fervent worship. We're holding on to fasting and prayer and laying our hands onto people for prayer, and you know, deliverance ministries, and doing all of these great and wonderful things. We're holding on to pastors preaching sermons and doing all of these things. But we're turning it into implementing the word of the Most High in our lives. I hope you get that. That's my wife calling me, so bless you guys. I love you. If you have a question, by all means, reach out. Shalom.